Leave one popular opinion and one unpopular opinion.
Oh, we're going to have a lot of fun with this one. You know, last time we did a video like this, a lot of people thought we were being very serious a lot of the time, and they thought, you know, people's comments were actually our opinions.
No.
I don't know. We'll talk about some of these and try and get into detail, and we'll try and unpackage some of them, will we? By the way, this is also a pre-recording. We did this a long time ago by the time it's actually uploaded, so who knows? Let's just get into this, will we?
Popular opinion. A setting can have whatever you want, provided it's believable. Believable meaning consistently represented in your game with the consequences of its existence throughout.
I can get behind that. I feel like one of the biggest ones that I see is people creating settings, and then in their settings culture they have certain customs or whatever, and people are like, oh no, they would never do this. A lot of different cultures around the world have a lot of customs that we consider in most Western countries as freakish, almost. Would that be a good word? Or extremely alien, or or some things that we consider taboo, they consider perfectly fine. They'll openly talk about it. They have no issue with it. But to us, we see that as, oh no, you can't talk about such things. So I'm perfectly on board with this.
Unpopular opinion. There's no such thing as freak shit. People that claim that something is freak shit are protecting their insecurity and likely their inability to roleplay it well enough without embarrassing themselves. Stop lacking creativity and actually put effort into making them feel real instead of cringing at anything that isn't milquetoast or trite enough to suit your uninspired tastes. E.g. can only play humans in fantasy setting.
I mean, freak shit, it's not really my thing. Personally, I do love animal races. I do think they're really cool. I just feel like
they have too much of a trope.
They've been tainted, but I'm perfectly okay with people playing. I personally do like Tabaxi.
Yes, I
do like Dragonborn. I like animal races. I like big fat lizards with titties, but not in that way. But I do think, lizard men, lizard folk, all that type of stuff. I do like the races, and I even I've even said this before, not all that long ago. I like tieflings. It's just the players, and they do have
people who play them.
And the problem is, whenever you do go up a cart, fuck me.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, ice cream
Jesus,
man.
he's coming through the window.
Here came through the window there, boys.
Fuck me.
Fuck, hold on, let me pause for a minute. Well, that's out of the way anyway. back on with what we're getting at. Yeah, I just feel like whenever you go up a certain character, people give you a look.
Yeah.
And they kind of expect certain things
from you because you're playing that
you're playing this
race or character.
I mean, I'm more than okay with playing them myself personally, but I know a lot of people that do not feel comfortable
playing them.
Actually, I'll throw up some artwork that I came across a while back. I thought it was really cool, and the first thing I ever got called whenever I posted was like, furry. But I think it's really cool artwork. I don't know who did it though.
Popular. Antagonistic DMs versus player style of games are inherently inferior to a game where the DM is a fan of the players and sets up challenging scenarios that they want the players to overcome. This doesn't mean provide a solution, but don't set up an impossible situation and blame the players for losing to it.
I don't think that's a popular opinion at all. DM versus player characters.
I think that's pretty fucking normal.
I think most people aren't in favour of that, that view on things. Is it? I don't know.
Unpopular. GMs should feel free to veto backstories and entire characters if the GM isn't interested by them. The GM runs the entire setting. If they aren't interested by what the players bring to the table, then the players need to try harder.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not going to disagree with it.
I'm not going to disagree, but it depends on how much of a dick the DM's being about it.
Yeah.
Does that? That's my view on it. Do you actually know the person? Do you know them well? Is it a randomer you've met online?
Yeah.
I mean, how bad? It's not that difficult to make a backstory that, you don't need to have anything long. 3 paragraphs, call it a day.
Yeah.
It's something that just it's what happened beforehand. It's not overly the core of what's going on in the now, which the game is centered about. Maybe it might have something to do, but. I don't think the entire game should revolve around a backstory.
Yeah. Popular opinion. Everyone with basic decency and hygiene will be welcome at most tables. This is how it should be.
Completely agree.
Yes.
Completely agree. Again, heavy focus on the hygiene and the decency, though.
Yes.
I know it's a tall order for some people.
Which I fucking shouldn't be,
It
but
shouldn't
okay.
be, but apparently it is for a lot of people that are interested in role-playing games. It's actually a lot bigger of a... It's a taller order than what I would like to admit that it is.
Yes. Unpopular opinion. The GM isn't here to enable every single whim and plan the players might come up with. You're allowed to say no. You're also allowed to let the players make stupid mistakes and pay for them. Frontally assaulting a castle with 4 people is going to result in death, even if they roll well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
you can't just 4 people rock up to the gates of the castle.
But Megan, I got
a 20.
I got a nat 20 though. You know what that means.
I got a nat 20. It's
Nat
yes,
20.
but it's still not going to work.
Honestly, see whenever it comes to D&D story times, and then it's at the end, it's and then I got a nat 20. That's the equivalent of
Reddit. Everyone stood up and clapped.
Yeah, and everyone was on the bus, and I told this mean person off, and then everyone stood up and clapped, and an old man started crying,
and then this beautiful blonde
came over and
give me your number.
Yeah, and then yeah, exactly. I'm now married.
And now we're married with 16 babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. But back to the unpopular opinion at hand. So, yeah, pretty much I'm on board with... I don't think that is, again, an unpopular opinion. Maybe it is for players, but not the DMs.
Not the DMs,
or at least it shouldn't be. I mean, I come up with stupid plans all the time. Don't mean they were. Don't mean they were good ideas to begin with anyway.
Yeah, but don't mean that they're always given the go-ahead, because most of the time he gets told no to. Popular opinion. Age of Sigmar started as a mistake and got passable or even cute, at the cost of great risks. And with less struggle and care, it would have been better to simply correct the issues of Warhammer Fantasy, such as idiotic spells and exaggerated rank sizes.
Yeah, okay, this is a video all in of itself. I've kind of wanted to actually talk about this for a long time. Whenever I was getting back into 40k, this was a bit before the end times. I was always really interested in fantasy, but there wasn't many people around us that played at the time, and everyone that did played with gigantic armies, and I mean gigantic. I mean, if you wanted to play, you needed to drop £5,000 to be able to play with these people, because that's just what people played. Warhammer Fantasy did have an awful lot of problems at the time. However, Age of Sigmar, the way it was dumped on the table, and let's just be serious, it was dumped at the time, and it just shit all over Warhammer Fantasy. Do you guys remember the videos of people burning the armies and shit? I mean, people were angry. They were really fucking angry at the time.
Fuck me.
I do think Age of Sigmar, the way I view it is, it's very much like 5th edition in a sense. It's a very streamlined game. Now, okay, I only played 1st edition Age of Sigmar, and I only played 3 games, so I'm not really the type of person that should be talking about this, but I have played it, so I'm going to input what I feel like, alright? It's my fucking video, guys. I'll do what I like. Yeah, it's 5th edition, essentially, for tabletop games. If you want to start making armies, if you want to, just pick up and play, the rules are very simple, they're very streamlined, they aren't overly difficult. I think what they did was pretty good. I just don't like what they did with the lore, and I would definitely agree with this guy that the way they went about it, they should have just watered down the rules to Warhammer Fantasy and made it what it is now. And it actually is way more popular now, just more than Warhammer Fantasy has ever been. The only thing that Warhammer Fantasy has going for it at the minute is the Total War games, which are absolutely amazing, but I don't know why they even fucking brought them games out, and I'm sure a lot of people are oh, you know what, I used to have the models when I was a child, I'll go ahead and check it out, and then they go ahead and check it out, and it's not even a thing anymore. You can understand the nerd leech for that. You can really understand them. Unpopular
opinion. It's not categorical to spam freak shit and alien races as much as possible in order to completely destroy and alienate all the traditional gaming meme crowd, not because it's right, but because it may be pleasant to momentarily make them spurg.
I mean, sometimes you just want to troll.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good for the health to just troll.
If you watch an image like that and your reactions aren't indifference or mild amusement due to his unmoristic, paradoxical nature, you're a brain-rotten cretin.
It depends if it's good.
Yeah.
If the picture is good, then my automatic reaction is, oh god.
Here we go again.
Oh shit! Here we go
again.
That's my view on it. But again, like, you know, honestly, I'm not a big fan of the term freak shit, even though it does apply all the time. I just consider them, again, animal racers or whatever.
Furries.
I'm sorry, just furries have ruined a lot of the internet for
games,
me.
Yeah.
And
they seep their way into fucking everything nowadays.
And now, the models of our website, brought to you by neckbeardia.co.uk. Get y'all some of these titties.
Dwarf titties, orc titties, cat titties, fat titties, the gases and wastes a bit. Vampires and goblins and all the buff champions and even hentai, yeah that too. Dragons, manticores, ogres and gnomes and bugbears and even more to you go still. Undead and demons and then our friend Pally and definitely not 40k. Wood elves, dark elves and lizards and Megan the Slither and James the look cool as he stands. Beholders and kobolds and tyrants and only in a donkey with a frying pan. If you don't want no models, then no need to bother. We now have subclasses and teas. Also, Guardbros Book, go have a look. Check out the link to Ko-fi. Thank you for watching our videos and giving our channel a hand. But this is the end, our viewers and friends, so let's get back to the video, man.
I fucking hate myself. Popular opinion. Chaos gets ham-fisted into all GW settings as some kind of inevitability, both flattening the depth of the related factions as mindless phenomena instead of active participants, while also robbing everyone else of narrative agency. It's a shame, as I otherwise quite like chaos, and further prove the best way to enjoy these settings is to distance yourself as much as possible from the IP's owners. Unpopular opinion. Space Marines are bland as fuck wankery that exists solely to honeypot unimaginative meatheads. And I'm not talking loyalists versus chaos. You're all part of the power armor white noise that pollutes the hobby, and you're all the reason 40k sucks so goddamn much.
Okay, so I do have a Space Marine army, but I don't know, too many people only play Space Marines and that's sad. I feel like, but then again, like, you know, a lot of people that do only play Space Marines also do have like some Imperial Guard that they can play with and have like a small detachment. I do feel like Space Marines are oversaturated though, and especially they're not even a good representation of Space Marines from the lore, because Space Marines in my mind should be literally godly in power.
Yeah.
The way I would view it is
because they have the Emperor behind them.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, if you went for the old lore, if you went for the really old lore with the Terminator armor that had like a little piece of the Emperor's armor and like the polygon, you know what I mean, where it's like artifacts and relics and completely over the top. But yeah, I do feel like Space Marines are not well represented. I feel like one Space Marine should be the equivalent of a few thousand Imperial Guard, and that's a low end on the tabletop. I feel like one Space Marine should be able to table most Imperial Guard army lists if the lore was accurate to the game. But of course, you know, we're working with game mechanics here, guys, so you just can't do it like that. Popular
opinion. Historical realism can get in the way of fun. As long as the world makes enough sense internally as to not break immersion, the DM/world builder shouldn't be too worried about the minute. Yeah, I completely get on board with that. I feel like when it comes to it though, when it comes to the minute stuff, sometimes it is just easier to look at history and be like, okay, they did that, I'm going to do that as well. Yeah. Instead of making up your entire fucking system. Exactly. Unpopular opinion. For as much as I hate local lord posting, using the local lord as the starter event is sort of tried and true, and much better than meeting in a tavern kind of situation. The heroes being given a quest by the king to save the princess is one of the most basic tropes of fantasy stories, and would lend itself extremely well to traditional big words. Romance type adventures. Yeah. I feel like, as much as we hate tropes, there's a reason why they've stayed about for so long, and the reason why they're reused again and again and again. They work. They just work. They just work. There's a reason why they've been around for so fucking long. Again, like, you know, I've talked about this many as a time. When it comes to modern fantasy, pretty much everything we base ourselves on is Tolkien-esque. But the reason why we copy all of his stuff is because his shit fucking works. Exactly. It's just,
It's fact, yo. Alright? It's just straight up.
It's fact, boys.
Spitting facts and figures, boys.
Spitting fact and fire.
Yeah.
Yes. Popular. I hate a great deal of fantasy, sci-fi art design because much of what the characters are wearing and using looks impractical to the point of absurdity.
Fuck me, Megan, you're having a stroke this video.
Absurdity. And not in a comedic way. This is compounded by the fact that plenty of real outfits, uniforms, meal looks really cool. Pick very much related.
What do you mean you do not like titty armor, guys? How dare you? How
Give me the
dare you?
breastplates.
Give me that titty armor. Like, yeah. Oh, you don't like a sword that's the size of a bus?
Yeah, like, what?
What? Are you telling me you don't want shoulder pads that are twice the height of you? I mean, obviously, no sense of style. I'm only joking, guys. I appreciate both. Right? Don't. I know someone's going to put in the comments like, shut the fuck up.
Unpopular. I don't mind rule sets dropping racial stats/rules, and I think it could be a good step towards more player freedom. It should be up to the players and DM to assign characteristics and rules to characters based on their backgrounds, rather than a blanket set of rules. Hopefully it will also make for more multi-dimensional creatures/races. Having said that, I do disagree with the reasoning of the people leading the charge on these changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I know it's a bit of a hot topic, the whole dropping of racial negatives.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to talk about that because, again, that's a video on its own, because it's so fucking divisive these days. But
on the other hand, if people want to be historically accurate and stuff in games, people back then did have prejudices against races.
Yeah.
And especially, I'm not gonna lie, if I lived back then in a fantasy setting, I'm not gonna like goblins. I'm not gonna like
I would
lizard
treat
people.
goblins,
especially if I was human.
Yeah, no, goblins.
I'm just putting it out there.
Look at what people are like today with spiders, or rats,
Yeah.
or other form of vermin.
Hey, don't come.
I
for
like
my
rats
ratty
personally.
boys.
I find rats adorable.
I love rats.
I think badgers should go fuck themselves. But I do like raccoons, but we don't have raccoons, so maybe if I lived in America, I'd be like, fuck raccoons.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, to get back at this, so I do kind of like this idea that he's got going with, it depends more on your background, you know, because that's kind of why I like, you know, like the soldier background and stuff, because it gives you like athletics and all that jazz, and I feel like that is more understandable than just all of a certain race. Like, you know, humans, like, the only thing we really have to work on is humans.
Yeah.
And I know humans are used in fantasy as like a blank template, but like, you know, there's humans that are very smart, there's humans that are very strong, there's, you know, it's all over the spectrum when it comes to it, and I would be more okay with if you could pick and choose maybe like a bonus stat, kind of like the way humans have it with like a human variant. I know that's probably not a great idea for gameplay as such, but if
it adds to the character.
If you added it more into the backstory and worked with it a lot more, I feel like backstory should be buffed. Would that be a better way to say it?
Yeah.
Nerf racial stats, buff backgrounds.
Yeah.
That would be my way of doing it personally.
Try different games. They'll help you appreciate other games. Unpopular opinion. Popular games / things are good because they're actually fun. This is why they're popular in the first place. If you don't like them, it's because you are overly needy.
I don't know. I wouldn't say overly needy.
I don't like Fortnite.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Just because they're popular doesn't mean...
I mean, they appeal to a much wider section of society. Would that be a better way of putting
Minecraft.
It?
Gives me motion sickness.
Yeah, I know a lot of people hate us for this. It gives us motion sickness. We're too old to play Minecraft. Minecraft came out when I was a fucking adult, guys, okay?
We literally tried to play it like a year ago.
Yeah, it didn't work out well.
And we both had to go lie down for about 4 hours after about 2 hours worth of gameplay.
It was bad.
I felt physically ill.
Yeah, I was near wedding. But yeah, also the try other games one, I do think people should try other games. I'm more than okay with that. I think people should be encouraged, because I think as well, even just looking at different dice mechanics, how characters work, it just gives you more ideas to work with. The way I look at it is, think of the game system as a language, And okay, yeah, we may be speaking English now, but if you speak, say, maybe German, French, Japanese, the way you formulate your sentences, the way you structure your words, and even the strength of them words, you know.
I think of it different. I think of it more of like a library. The more books you read, the more knowledgeable you become.
Yeah, the more well-versed you become.
The more well-versed you become.
Yeah.
You know, if you read books within, you know, fantasy, romance, comedy, drama, whatever, you get more of a well-rounded view.
Yeah. There was a good quote I remember hearing not that long ago, or I think it was actually, fuck, I'm saying it again. Like, guys, you know I'm a token fag, but he said a good author should know as much as everything, which I do think, and a DM should have that ability as well. A DM should try to learn, and it doesn't need to be about role-playing, and it doesn't need to always be about fighting, but like, you know, reading romance novels, reading just generic fantasy, anything, all those things cumulate together. You know, they may not seem like they're related now, but in a weird sense they are. Or maybe I'm just in a web of...
No, I understand. I get it.
Am I like the mental pointing at the map with all the letters?
Yes.
It's connected. The numbers, Mason. Remember the numbers.
Popular opinions. Fighter as a concept for a class is idiotic. Everyone is fighting in some way or another, and there are already multiple classes devoted to melee combat with more interesting core concepts. It's always best to play with friends. Games Workshop has the most autistic and annoying fanbase in existence. And, to make it worse, they are pay pigs. There are a lot of cool things that have no official role-playing game.
Okay, all I'm going to say is, fighters, you my boys.
You my boys.
But I do think all fighters should just play as Battle Masters.
Yeah.
And Battle Master should be the core concept of the fighter class, and all the other subclasses should be then added on.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I feel like the generic level of a fighter should be a Battle Master. I get that what he's saying, but just not true.
Unpopular opinions. Any setting without multiple historical eras with different levels of technology is a fucking joke. Don't include an alignment or morality system if you aren't willing to officiate on what is moral or not. Never make the mistake of thinking that playable races are not human beings with coats of paint. They all effectively will be if someone chooses to play them, even if it's a heavy coat. Anyone who uses the Walmart races...
Wait. Walmart races?
Dwarves,
elves, orcs... Are you talking about the beast races?
Well, maybe not elves.
Maybe not. Like, it depends on the setting, but like they are. I love them.
Okay.
No,
that's right. Anyone who uses the Walmart races, dwarves, elves, orcs, etc., in their fantasy setting, can be discounted as uncreative. No one cares about your twist on these races because everyone has a twist on these races. Better to make your own from the ground up, rather than forcing certain races to fit into your setting. Anyone who is invested in supplement settings for D&D is a fucking retard. The tech priests and imperial knights from 40k would be better developed and more appreciated in literally any other setting that they would fit in. Space opera and science fiction in general is better with minor paranormal elements, such as psychic powers.
I mean, I'm going to put it out there, at least they were unpopular opinions, because he's fucking stupid as shit. And I mean, like, whenever you hear an unpopular opinion, you should think that.
Yes.
You know, I always hated the term unpopular opinion, because, like, people try and be like, oh, no, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, again, I do agree with him, though, about the twists. I don't think you should bother making a twist on dwarves, elves, and orcs, because
I think they're
just they are what they are. Don't try and force your okay. I will take the only twist I will take on the orcs is if you want to give them a slightly like Hunnic vibe. Definitely not stolen from fantasy or Warhammer 40k. I'm cool with that. Mm-hmm. But bar that, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. Even though he brought up some very, very valid points. But like, I think that's where we're gonna end.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap things up here.
Megan, let's do it for ourselves. I'm gonna say I don't know if this is okay on TG in particular. This would be considered an unpopular opinion, but on YouTube it's complete opposite. So I don't know if I can say this one, but I actually do think 5th edition is fine, and I think it's a great place for people to learn and to start playing. I think it's actually
I would
not
say
as bad
that would be my unpopular opinion.
I actually don't think it's as bad as what people make it out to be, but It's kind of hard to say because it depends on who you talk to. Some people are like, don't go back to that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, guys, calm down a wee touch. What would be my unpopular one? I'm going to say that's a popular opinion. Saying the 5th edition is fine because most people.
My unpopular one would be 40k's boring.
Well, like you're a girl. What do you expect?
That would be my
you're
unpopular
opinion. You're just
not
into 40k.
Just not into it whatsoever.
No.
So, but like.
You did try. You did. And it's not like you give it a brief go. You did actually give it a solid try for, I would say, a good 6 months or so.
Yeah, and like I am reading like the All Guardsman Party and stuff at the minute, and I find it really interesting, but I think like those type of stories, you don't really need to be into 40k to get them.
No, you don't.
But I don't know, man. There's just too much.
Yeah.
In 40, there's too much lore.
There is too much. I think it's very hard for someone to just pick up and be like, oh, what's 40k? And you couldn't just give them a very brief rundown.
Yeah.
There's no brief rundown for 40k. It's just this. You could spend weeks, months, years
looking into that shit.
Yeah, you really could.
What would be your unpopular opinion?
For me? Okay, I think I got something. But I don't even know if this is an unpopular opinion, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Everyone who thinks they're good at writing fantasy is kind of trash because I'll always compare you to Tolkien. And in my mind, he is a god of men. Everything, like, I'm not even, like, literally all fantasy in the past, 60, 70 years, in my mind, it's either taken or based itself from his work, or heavily. It's indirectly been, like, even George R. R. Martin.
Derived
it's like, I want to make the complete opposite. That's kind of what he did. But, and that's kind of what I view it. I'm sorry to say, but I do. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate fantasy authors or science fiction authors. Yeah. Not at all. I don't think we will. I don't think in my lifetime I will.
No, I'll ever see anybody
who will redefine a genre as even in the slightest.
It's not even redesign it. That boy fucking made it.
Yeah, for me, he really did. The only, it's just one of those.
This video has literally just been us.
Can I just
It's just been us spunking over Tolkien for a good 25-30 minutes at this stage.
Actually, I'm gonna put this in. This is a poem. It's an Anglo-Saxon poem, so it is. Megan, actually, I want you to read this. It's an amazing poem. It's one from the 6th century. It's from the Dark Ages. Tolkien actually did put it in. He readapted and put it into the books. He took some bits out. Let's just read it and let's see what you guys make of it. And this is where Tolkien blends history and fantasy and makes something I find beautiful in a weird sense. So let's do this, will we? So this is the Wanderer, this is the Tolkien's adaptation of the poem from the Wanderer. This is a video all of its own that I need to do at some stage, but let's just get into this, will we?
How do you say that? Where now the horse and the rider? Where is the horn that was blowing? Where is the helm and the hauberk, and the bright hair flowing? Where is the hand on the harp string, and the red fire glowing? Where is the spring and the harvest, and the tall corn growing? They have passed like rain on the mountain, like a wind in the meadow. The days have gone down in the west, behind the hills into shadow. Who shall gather the smoke of the dead wood burning, or behold the flowing years from the sea returning?
Tolkien adapted some of the lines from the poem of the Wanderer and reincorporated them. What he was doing was he was taking from Rohan the idea of that mythological dark age of the British Isles, and he was adapting I don't want to talk too much about the story of the Wanderer, but it's about a knight who has lost his lord and he's lost all purpose in his life. And it's amazing that you can see people from near 2,000 years ago being able to convey emotion that you could see today, that we aren't actually all that different. So I think we're going to end it right here.